All right, everyone. Welcome back to Game 2 out of 3 in this matchup between Tom Dolezal and Josh J-Wittz Wittenkeller. This is the top 8 of the 2011 Pokemon TCG World Championships. And once again, I'm Crims, and with me is Pooka. And here we go.
We saw Tom win a pretty quick first game. Got off to a roaring start. Josh didn't have the greatest start, so he scooped about 15 minutes into the game. So we do have, 45 minutes left. So plenty of time to finish out this match.
Oh yeah, plenty of time. This is going to be a pretty good match if, as long as both players get good hands, because they have all the time in the world. Now here we go. We're going to be getting Game 2 out of 3. J-Wittz is going to be able to start the game going first, so that's going to be a plus, and that should give him the advantage right then and there.
Yeah, he did lose the first game, so he gets to pick who goes first. Looks like everybody's shuffled, and I don't think Josh even cut Tom's deck, just a sign of how much respect he has.
Yeah, Josh is a good guy, and he understands that Tom's a good guy and he wouldn't cheat, so. And maybe he just knew that Tom didn't have any basics in his deck, in his top 7.
Maybe he's got some extra vision going on.
Tom mulligans, and here we go. He's going to have to shuffle up a little bit longer. And so let me ask you real quick, Kyle, now that we have a little bit of downtime. What do you think Josh has to do in order to maybe put himself in better position Game 2 out of 3?
Well, he's going first. That's a big help, obviously. If he starts with a collector, that'll be an even bigger help. He has to get out faster than Tom. That's pretty much all the matchup is. He can, if he can get up a quick Magnezone and a Yanmega, and he has to judge early on just to mess with Tom's setup. And also, getting a few mulligans doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that does help you quite a bit because you get one extra card for each time your opponent mulligans. And even though you've already got your basics down and everything like that, you can still get a couple extra cards that you might not have had otherwise. Sometimes you just don't have a handful of supporters, and your opponent mulligans twice, and hey, there you go, there's a Juniper. Saves your butt.
Yeah. So I think the key for Josh is going to be target down those Cyndaquils as fast as he can. If he can prevent Tom from getting out 2 Typhlosions early on, I think he'll be just fine. It's a really even matchup. I would say probably close to 50-50, but it just depends on your start and who goes first, and Josh is going first here. So.
Yep. So now Tom does have to put down his prize cards, and he doesn't forget you, which is a good thing. And maybe the nerves are calming down for Tom, you know? Maybe Tom's just, he has that win under his belt that he really needed. He understands that he just has to win 1 out of these next 2 games, and hopefully we'll see a more relaxed Tom Dolezal.
Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, you can say, I won the first game, I'm calmed down, or you can look at it saying, I'm 1 win away from the big money. Don't choke. So,
don't choke.
So we'll see how he handles it.
So we do see a collector out of Josh, and Josh is finding the Magnemite, the Horsey, and the Yanma. Pretty much the top 3 Pokemon you want to find unless you need to really eat that turn. So apparently he doesn't have to, and hopefully he gets a pretty good hand out of this. I'd like him to get a Yanmega Judge next turn. That's his ideal setup here.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets a Yanmega, maybe even a Magneton if he's lucky, and a Judge, then he'll be in great shape.
Now, when somebody plays a collector on the first turn, the first thing I always look for is, did they grab Cleffa? And in Josh's case, no. That's going to tell me 99% of the time he's got a good hand. The other times it's prized. But I'm going to say Josh has a good hand here.
So your Cleffa's only prized 1% of the time? Must be nice.
No, I'm just saying 99% of the time if you have a collector and you don't get Cleffa, that means you got a pretty good hand.
Okay, so we do see a collector out of Tom, and Tom's finding a Cyndaquil, and he started with, actually the card's covering it, I didn't really pay attention.
He started with Vulpix.
Oh, okay, there it is, that's full picture, right? So we see a Reshiram, a Cyndaquil, and is he going to pass that Cleffa test? Or will he, like 99% of the time, have a pretty good hand?
Oh, he's taking a second look.
I saw the Cleffa, so he definitely has it in his deck. Unless my eyes deceive me. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So he has a Cleffa in his deck. And he's just looking, making sure he doesn't have some certain things prized, maybe looking for some Quilavas. That's really what I tend to search for when I have the Typhlosion deck. I look for the amount of primes I have in my deck. I look for the amount of full art Reshirams or whatever. And then finally I look for the Quilavas.
Full art? Well, calm down, Richie Rich.
No, just a little trick. is if you do have the full arts, it's much easier to look for them. If you don't have the full arts, then at that point you have to look through all your red cards and separate the rush realms from the rest.
Well, one of the things I would even consider doing if I'm in Tom's position is maybe even grabbing Cleffa as a safety net, because I know Josh is going to play a lot of judges, so there's potential for me to get my hand judged away. So maybe put down the Cleffa just in case. It's a tough thing, though, because you can give up free prize in the Cleffa, but it's always running through my head.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, though, if your opponent really does want to really mess with you, then he just does the linear attack on the Cleffa and judges at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of reducing your outs, because at that point, if you would have had a communication or a collector in your judge's hand, you're just sitting there just shaking your head.
This is true. I'm not always smart, but we do see Tom retreat to Reshiram, so if he did get judged, he wouldn't even have an option to retreat to Cleffa, which could put him in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, so we did see a Magna Zone as well, so this is the ideal start for Josh.
Yeah.
This is really what Josh was looking for, and I'm kind of glad here. I really do want to see a good game.
Well, it could be a good game, or it could be another one-sided affair, because we do see a turn 2 Yanmega and Magna Zone, and here's a reversal.
That is Tails, so he doesn't hit it. I would have gone after the Vulpix there, by the way.
Probably, yep. He's got another one. It's also
Tails again?
Tails. Looks like he's got a bunch of different arts of reversal. Kind of confusing, but...
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for him to get that Tails there, because if he would have been able to get one of these knockouts, it doesn't really matter if it's on a Cyndaquil or a Vulpix, really. If he would have been able to get one of these knockouts, he would have been in great shape. Better shape than he is in now.
I think taking out the Vulpix here would have been the correct choice, just preventing Ninetales from hitting the field. Tom's version, I think he does run a 2-2 Ninetales, so he focuses...
The correct version.
Yeah, he focuses on getting Ninetales out the setup, which means he plays probably a few less supporters than some other versions. So he's really relying on getting the Ninetales into play, and if he doesn't, it's going to be tougher for him to set up.
That's exactly right. So we do see a linear attack on one of the Cyndaquils.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's going to be trying that same strategy that he tried last game, which is try to hurt the Cyndaquils enough for the Jirachi to be able to do some damage. And now your opponent, if he has to rare candy to the Typhlosion, it really does set him behind, because if you get a Kingdra in the following couple turns, you just put 2 damage on that Typhlosion over time, and eventually that Jirachi is just a free prize, or it's just a free prize for that Jirachi.
Yeah. Now, if you were Josh, would you have done that, or just attacked into Reshiram?
Well, I don't really mind attacking into Reshiram here, because I know that I have to get through the Reshiram somehow, and if he outrages, he only deals 90 damage. It doesn't, it's not going to put him in a very bad spot. It's not going to put me in a very bad spot through the outrage. And unless he gets a couple of Typhlosions out, then my Yanmega is going to be able to survive and be able to knock out that Reshiram, which is very rare. So you might as well take advantage of that if you still can, because otherwise you're going to have to be relying on the Magna Zones to knock out these Reshirams.
Yeah, I think you can actually go for either one. Now, we did see Tom play a Juniper and then play absolutely no cards from his hand, so we'll see what that means. And it looks like
he's trying to avoid this.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to make sure Josh can't match hand sizes. We do see Josh play a switch, so maybe he's going to try to draw into a copycat or judge here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, I was going to say, either way, what Josh did last turn was acceptable, I think. You can attack into Reshiram, because that's going to be your biggest obstacle, knocking out Reshrams over and over. Or you can target down a Cyndaquil, because Typhlosion is the life of the deck. So I don't think you can actually do anything wrong there. Maybe linear attack Vulpix would have been bad, but that's about it.
Yeah, to be honest, I really do think that attacking the Reshiram is the better play. Just because the Cyndaquils, you went for the reversals, you missed the reversals, that's fine. Now you go for Plan B. Plan B is make sure that you can compete in the long game. He's going the linear attack route, the Sonic Boom attack route, steals a little bit more damage, and make sure that Reshiram can't just go crazy and take a couple prizes on its own.
Yeah, I mean, we have another reversal here. Okay, we do get heads, so
I would have gone after the Vulpix here. Let's see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he Activates the damage Cyndaquil.
Not sure what he's doing with that, but
He's
kind of confused.
Oh, maybe he just didn't have enough energy to, or he didn't have the right hand size.
Okay. That could be.
So
I'm confused. If he hits the reversal, that means it's going to be tougher for Tom to use Blue Flare this turn, so I can see that. I don't know if I would use a reversal there just for that purpose, but Josh felt like that was what he needed to do, so hey, can't blame him.
Yeah, we don't know Josh's exact hand.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know exactly what Josh is thinking here, but yeah, I would really like to see him attack here. That would have put him in a great spot to win this game.
Okay, looks like Tom gets a tails on his own reversal. But
I have not seen the reversal art before.
That's from Expedition. Actually, Josh already played one of those, so.
Oh.
Way to notice.
Do what I can.
But I'm kind of surprised to see Josh has 2 Magnazones out, and he wasn't able to draw a Judge or a Copycat. So even though his start was really strong, kind of fizzled out because he couldn't attack, but Tom couldn't do anything in return, so.
Yeah.
There's a reversal.
So that's a reversal. So much suspense. That's a tails. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess getting 2 Magnazones out doesn't really guarantee that you're going to be able to match hands.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting to note that I think that's been Josh's 4th reversal already, so he's going to be out of those. He does have junk arms left, but...
I had to count at 3, but then again, I wasn't really counting that well, so who's counting?
3 or 4, either way, it's a lot. So he's not going to have the option to do that very much more. Which,
okay, so he did play Rainbow Energy on his Magnemite, which I don't really mind. Your opponent can't do the linear attack because he doesn't have Yon Mega, go figure. And at that point, you really just want to attach as many energies as you can. You don't really care what the energy is.
Right, now, we do see Josh knock out that damage Cyndaquil, which kind of made the earlier linear attack useless. That's why it was kind of a questionable play. And let's see, we have a Blue Flare knockout. The Tom has no evolutions in play, so that Reshram's feeling kind of lonely.
Yeah, I do believe that Josh made a small misplay by reversaling up that damage Cyndaquil, and again a small misplay by linear attacking the Cyndaquil instead of doing 70 to the Reshram, but that's okay. At the end of the day, he's still in a great spot, and they were small misplays. At the end of the day, they weren't big game-crushing misplays, and he's still in a great position, and he's still